Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Oxnard City Council Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting for June the 23rd of 2020. Table roll call, the posting of the agenda, and the flag salute. And Mr. McDonald, could you lead us in the flag salute when we get to that time, please? Thank you.
Member Flynn.
Present.
Member McDonald.
Here.
And Chair Perrello.
Here.
Chair, we have a quorum, and the agenda for this meeting was posted in the City Hall kiosk on Tuesday, June 16th.
And my understanding is there's anybody want any changes or to the agenda, gentlemen?
Not here.
Okay. Can we have the pledge salute, please?
Sure. Please place your hand over your heart and join me in saluting the flag of our nation by saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I have received no public comments. And Madam Clerk, did anybody come at the last minute?
No, we don't have any comments.
Okay, moving on to the agenda, the consent agenda. Item 1, the subject is...
I'm sorry, Chair. Could we have Director Gaglione would like to make an introduction really quickly?
I'm sorry. Sure, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. Rosemary Gaglione, Public Works Director. I just want to introduce you to Damian Skinner. Damian is our newest Assistant Public Works Director. He's going to be overseeing environmental resources, parks, and special districts. He's a registered civil engineer, and he comes to us from Gilroy. And I'm going to go ahead and let him say a few words.
Good morning. Yeah, I just want to thank Rosemary and Alex for the opportunity. Really excited to be a part of the Public Works team and doing some cool things with my coworkers. Thank you.
Well, welcome aboard. The best of luck. You've chosen a good city to work for, and wish you all the success in the future. You've got a good crew there at Public Works. Any of the council members want to say anything? Or
I'll just echo your comments. Welcome aboard, okay, sir.
And I'll just say the same. Welcome aboard, and you'll find that the weather is going to be a lot more pleasant than Gilroy.
I don't know about the odors, though. Gilroy's, the garlic's pretty nice up there. Okay.
You got to have garlic. If it calls for 2 cloves,
got it.
Use 5.
The consent agenda, the City Clerk's Department, the approval of the minutes. Have we had the opportunity to review the minutes, or anybody on the council, the committee wish to make a change or adjustment?
I think the mayor moved them. I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Member Flynn.
Aye.
Member McDonald.
Aye.
Chair Perrello.
Yes.
The motion carries 3-0.
Moving on to reports. Section D, the first report, Public Works Department. The subject, First Amendment to Agreement A613-19-PW with Employment Services, LLC, DBA, Pirate Staffing, and Labor Max Staffing. And there will be a recommendation. Can we have staff read the recommendation, please?
Yes, hi. Good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members. My name is Tian. I'm the Assistant Public Works Director. Mr. Todd Housley is out of the office today, so I'm pinch hitting today. So the recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council authorize the mayor to execute a First Amendment to Agreement 8613-19-PW with Employment Services, LLC, DBA, Pirate Staffing, and Labor Max Staffing, parentheses, Pirate Staffing, in the amount of $600,000 for a total not to exceed contract value of $800,000, and to extend the terms from July 15, 2020 to July 15, 2022 for temporary labor services at the Del Norte Regional Recycling and Transfer Station, normally called Del Norte. So as you all know, for background, the Del Norte Environmental Resources divisions employ over 170 employees. And we are the central hub for residential, commercial waste recycling, green waste material collections. So the function at the Del Norte, they do such as sort and process, transfer of the municipal solid waste. In addition to that, they also sort out the recyclables. And we also have a recyclable cans and bottle buyback center. We also take drop-off services and also take entry fees, freeze, household battery, motor oil, water-based paint waste drop-off. So with that type of operations, there's a lot of intense labor involved. As a result of that, there's a lot of very high turnover. And this is where this pirate staffing agency comes to play. And majority of those are the sorters and maintenance worker trainee. So last year in January, the city issued a solicitation for a temporary labor services. And in July, the city contracted with pirate staffing based on their lowest and responsible response. And the agreement has an option for 2-year extensions based on their performance. So we have completed our first year talking to the ER staff. They're pretty satisfied with the performance. And therefore, we come before you to ask for your approval for a 2-year extensions. And in addition to that, we also will take the opportunity to adjust the living wage rate to next year rate if this is approved. So the total value, the value of this amendment is $600,000. Total cost not to exceed $800,000. We have budgeted in the ER next year fiscal year budget $300,000 for such services, and then the remaining $300,000 will be budgeted in the subsequent fiscal years. So that concludes my presentations. We are available to answer any questions.
Do the committee members have any questions? And I have not seen any public comments on this matter.
I just have one.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. McDonald.
And Mr. Ng, you probably won't be able to answer this because you're pinch hitting, but just out of curiosity, it's not unusual for labor staffing groups to have a incentive that if their employee gets hired, they get a percentage of that cost. And I'm just curious if this group does that or not.
Mr. Chair, Councilman Perello, this amendment does not include like a credit if the staff gets hired, but the employment agency does have a markup on the employee.
Okay, how much does that cost? Do you know offhand?
There are different categories. Let me look back at the markup factor here.
So on page 8 of the staff report.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. That's not quite what I'm asking. Usually, if we hire a temporary labor employee as a city employee while they're working as a temporary labor, we have to pay an additional fee to the labor service.
Okay.
I'm just curious if we have to do that.
So, Council, we'll have to get back to you on that question.
Okay. I feared it's kind of a minutia detail, but I just thought I'd ask, and I was pretty sure you probably didn't know off the top of your head. Thank you.
Mayor, do you have any questions?
Yes, I just have a quick question. It's not unusual for, Public Works and other departments in the city to use temporary labor, so there's no problem with that. I'm just kind of curious to know when it comes to just the staffing, whether those positions, or just how many of those positions, kind of like along the lines of Councilman McDonald's questions, just how many of those positions are we looking to fill in environmental resources to permanent positions?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Mayor, this amendment with pirate staffing, it's to temporarily fill the vacancy. It's not to recruit for permanent. So just to give you some numbers, for maintenance worker trainee, currently environmental resources has 22 of those positions. And then for sorter, they have about 26 of them. So with the high turnover, basically on a week-to-week basis, people basically comes in and give their notices and have their career elsewhere. And then with that short period of time before the city can complete the recruitment process with new employee coming in, pirate staffing will be coming in to fill in the void to make sure that the operation is functioning on a normal basis.
And thank you for that answer. And is there, amongst the sorters, I know that's a very labor-intensive job, and you know, with certain risk, obviously, because they're sorting through trash. Is there a high turnover for that position?
Yes, that probably one of the highest. You know, we have employee last a day. We have, you know, some of them lasted a week. So it depends.
I see. And last question on that. I'm just kind of curious to know, on average, what the starting, you know, hourly wage would be for that sorter position.
It's on page 8.
The sorter positions with this amendment here, the hourly rate for that employee itself is $16.19 per hour.
That's what I have here. Yeah. Okay. Good. Very good. Those are my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Angie, I don't have questions on this. I appreciate the presentation. I appreciate the staff report. I was taken aback. The markup, including hourly rate payable to the vendor, the markup we have identified as 65.55%. I'm interested the next time that this goes out to a bid, how this will be handled, but I support this action. What is the feeling of the rest of the council members?
Move the recommended action.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Flynn,
Aye.
Member McDonald,
Aye.
Chair Perrello.
Yes.
The motion carries 3-0.
The next item, item number 2, is subject purchase order to National Auto Fleet Group for a new sewer inspection vehicle. And we can have staff read the recommendation, please.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chair. My name is Tian Ing. I'm the Assistant Public Works Director. So the recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute a purchase order with National Auto Fleet Group for a new sewer inspection vehicle camera truck in the amount of $249,643.90. So for background, on April of this year, we issue a competitive source proposal for a new camera truck. And the city utilized a Sourcewell cooperative contract. And this is not an addition to our system, but to replace an existing camera truck that we had since 2004. So the wastewater owns and operates a camera truck for sewer pipe inspection throughout the city. As you all know, we have close to 450 miles of sewer within the city. So this inspections record is regulated by the EPA and the regional board. It determines the pipe conditions throughout the city, and on occasion, if the staff find out that a certain pipe, potentially there's a buildup, blockages and so forth, and they will notify the other crew and, you know, come and clean them. So those are type of the services that the camera truck does. So our current truck, it's for this year, it's not very reliable or not. Talking to Ray Trevino, since he's in charge of this program here, the truck spends more time in the shop than actually out in the field. So there comes in point in time that that were marginal this year to be able to meet our annual inspections report. So we took actions to go ahead and procure a new vehicle. So once again, the total cost of this new vehicle purchase with National Auto Fleet Group is $249,643.90. And wastewater divisions has added this cost into our next fiscal year budget. So that concludes my presentation. I'm available to answer any questions.
And Madam Clerk, do we have any comments on this matter?
No.
No, okay. Committee members?
I have one question.
Go ahead, Mr. McDonald.
For almost 250,000, I'm presuming this truck is turnkey, meaning it's fully equipped with cameras, monitors, software, and everything it needs, correct?
Councilman McDonald, everything except the camera. We procure the cameras separately.
Okay. Would that would include the monitors and everything else then? So all we need to do is add on cameras?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Mr. Ng, not knowing a lot about these camera trucks, not even knowing that we had a camera truck for the first time. Could you explain just, I mean, 250,000, $250,000 for a truck, and that doesn't even include the cameras, is really expensive. So Committee Member McDonald kind of elaborated. He was talking about monitors and a whole host of other things. So what makes this truck as expensive as it is for the most part?
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to have Ray Trevino, who has been operating this type of truck probably for more than 20 years of experience, and then he's going to spend a little bit of time getting into the details of the vehicle.
I am Ray Trevino, a wastewater collections manager. So the truck does come fully equipped with all the software, which is WinCan, is the software that we typically use. It does come with the cameras. We're also keeping our old cameras as backups. So it has all the software, all the camera software and equipment used. So the truck has three 2 computer monitors, one for the video itself, one for making observations, and the other has these city's sewer maps on it as we go through so we can keep moving accordingly. It also comes with a restroom so the guys don't have to keep pulling off. It's just a small little porta potty where they can do what they need to do so they don't have to continue to go to a park or all the way back to the plant to use or any other city facility to use the restroom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Trevino, well, thank you. A couple of questions, one for you and a couple for Mr. Ng. In slide number 5, it indicates, if we could put it back up, slide number 5, it indicates wastewater unable to meet the 50-mile annual inspection. And we had identified how many miles of sewer line that we have. When we're not able to meet this 50-mile annual inspection, there is a potential, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a potential to miss something which would further exacerbate the fact that the city of Oxnard had not you personally or not the sewer department personally, but the city of Oxnard had not been maintaining adequate information about the quality of the sewer system?
Mr. Chair, so we have been meeting for quite a while. It's just that this year we can't. So once after the truck showed up, we have to come up with a game plan to come up with the difference. And we would like to do it within a fiscal year to catch up to back to a regular service.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Trevino, what exactly on the truck is it that breaks down? Because I found it very informative. The staff report, they identified the existing 2000, this is directly off page 65. The existing 2004 camera truck is not reliable and must be removed from service for extended periods of time. Repairs have become cost prohibitive and far exceed the value of the vehicle. As a result, wastewater is unable to meet the annual inspection performance goal of 50 miles. And there speaks volumes in that one sentence. What is it that breaks down on the truck?
So it is a diesel. I'll pinpoint one particular instance I recall was the turbo went out and it was about $5,000, and we had a major misunderstanding with Ford because about a year later it went out again, and getting them to make good on their warranty, which was supposed to be 1 year, they didn't want to. So that was one of the things. There's been some other motor issues. We've never had any transmission issues. Also the generator, which runs off the same fuel tank as the vehicle, has had many issues as well, and that's what runs all the computer components and the camera itself.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that the wear and tear is not over the road miles? It's not the mileage on the truck. It's just the sitting in a position and having to work for extended periods of hours?
Yes, because it could just be sitting there idling because the truck has to be running, for everything to function.
Okay. So with that being said, it could be is capitalized. It could be that this is a fantastic chassis of a vehicle for somebody that has another use for it. Are we investigating the scrap value or the resale value of this vehicle?
They are going to give us a trade-in value for the vehicle.
Have they given you an idea of what the trade-in value will be?
I believe it was about $16,000. I'm sorry.
Okay. Because I agree with my fellow council members. $250,000 for a truck is a lot of money, but as you've explained, there's a lot of stuff in the trucks, and these days nothing is cheap.
No.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much for your answers. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Angie. Do we have any further discussion by the committee?
No. Or
Okay.
at least I don't, I'm sorry. Move the recommended action.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Member Flynn. Member McDonald.
Yes.
Chair Perrello.
Yes.
The motion carries 3-0.
Okay. The next item, number 3, is the subject, Award Agreement A-8228 with Clean Harbors Environmental Services Incorporated for conditionally exempt small quantity generator waste and residential household hazardous waste collection and disposal service. If we could have the staff read the recommendation, please.
Yes, hi, good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members. My name is Tian Ning. I'm the Assistant Public Works Director. Before I read the recommendation, I want to make a very clear note that Clean Harbors is a company. It's no way related to our water quality at the harbor. Let me repeat, Clean Harbor is a company, not related to harbor water quality. So the recommendation, the City of Oxnard and City of Port Hueneme started a long time ago. So actually started in 1997 with the both city provide this type of services. So for this contract, the city issue a request to bid in April of this year. And we posted the information on the city website and also publicpurchase.com. There are 41 vendors registered, receive, and have access to the bid solicitations. Unfortunately, only one bid, and that is Clean Harbors. So we did some contact back to some of the vendors who decided not to bid it, and majority of them have one common theme is that they don't have a local facility to support such services, therefore they decline to bid. So, and Staff review the Clean Harbor bids, and then it was determined that price, qualification, and experience, and decided that to recommend to move forward with this agreement. Clean Harbors is a licensed hazardous waste disposal facility, and their facility is at Camarillo. And the nearest similar facilities located in Southern California, Azusa and Almonte. So what do they do with this agreement? So basically what they'll do is, in the contract, is that the Clean Harbor will host a monthly event at their local facility. That means that if you're Oxnard and Port Hueneme residents, if you have small quantity of stuff and meets the definition, you can take that over there, or you can call to schedule a pickup. And in addition to that, they will also host satellite hazardous waste collection event throughout the city. So with this program, when the resident and small businesses drop it off, they don't have to pay because it's covered under this contract. So once again, the value of this agreement is $225,000 to the term to June 30th, 2023. For the next fiscal year budget, ER has budgeted for $75,000. And any future funding, it'll be budgeted accordingly to the subsequent fiscal years. And City of Port Hueneme will pay their own services directly to Clean Harbor. It wouldn't go through Oxnard at all. And that concludes my presentations, and I'm available to answer any questions.
And again, I have, thank you very much, Mr. Ng. I have no notice of any comment cards. So do the committee members have any comments or questions?
No comments on my part, Mr. Chair.
I have none.
Okay, I have a couple of comments here. On the staff report, I appreciated the staff report, and I really appreciate the fact that you have informed us Hueneme will be paying directly through Clean Harbor, so there'll be no commingling or any potential questions. On the staff report, the last line underneath the report, underneath the background, underneath the discussion, I beg your pardon, it says, both resident and small business communities benefit from this free of charge service that promotes the proper disposal of hazardous waste. It sounds fantastic. And the site, I've been to the site myself in Camarillo, it's by the airport. But you did mention that they have pickups. Are the pickups an extra charge incurred for them coming and picking it up?
Mr. Chair, no. It's included in this agreement.
So that may be something that we want to share with the residents more, somehow get that word out there, that if they avoid having to take it over there. The second thing is the second to the last paragraph of the discussion. It says that there are various, reading it directly. Come on, read it. And host satellite waste collection events throughout the city and Port Hueneme. Are there multiple sites where we can take material in the city of Oxnard that is not accepted at the Del Norte site and not have to go to Camarillo, according to this report?
Mr. Chair, the host satellite site is usually coordinated with environmental resources. Let's say we have a special event, a special functions, and we will work with them throughout to have them there as an event, so that if anybody joining a special functions, and if you have some other quantity of stuff that you want to drop off or ask questions, they'll be there to take care of those. It's with coordination with the city. Of course, a city of Port Hueneme will coordinate their own, or we could coordinate. So this is all non-scheduled, but we'll coordinate through environmental resources staff and the city.
when there are banners located throughout the city of Oxnard indicating electronics pickup, does this have anything to do with electronics pickup?
Mr. Chair, no.
Okay, thank you. And those are my questions. I appreciate it. It's great that there's an outfit that's willing to deal with this material. It is unfortunate that there's very limited numbers of outfits, and the proximity, it's understandable, the proximity from their major centers where they deal with it, however they deal with it. Do we have a recommendation from the committee?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Member Flynn,
Aye.
Member McDonald,
Aye.
Chair Perrello.
Aye.
The motion to approve carries 3-0.
Moving to the next item on the agenda, it's items for future agendas. Mr. Flynn, do you have any items for future agendas?
I just recommend, Mr. Chair, like with other committees, that maybe we can do a review of what we've asked, to bring forward to the committee. And, it always has on, I know that there's a date assigned to that, and just, take a look at it, a little inventory of if maybe it's no longer relevant or whatever that might be. But I'd like to see what items, that the whole committee be aware of what's been asked and what the status should be or is.
Sounds like a good idea. Mr. McDonald?
I have nothing.
Okay, I personally, I had asked for some update in the previous finance and governance, and I believe it will be brought to this. I just want to, it's not a specific issue, but it is a specific issue that is generating a lot of discussion, a lot of it false information, in my opinion. The City of Oxnard Council taking action that they would allow monies to be borrowed from the enterprise funds up to $10 million per each enterprise funds, and the accusations that are being made by members of the public about what that is. I would like an update on the funds in those departments: water, wastewater, and refuse, because I believe that the management of those departments through the Public Works Department of the City of Oxnard, through the general managers, working under the general manager, have been extremely well handled, and that allows us to have these funds available. It's not, all of a sudden we found money. Through the good works and the hard work of all the people involved in those departments, the managers of those departments, we've been able to put ourselves in a very good position. With that being said, I'll branch out. Does the Assistant Deputy City Manager have any comments you wish to make?
No, and neither does the city manager. Thank you.
Okay. I'm at a handicap here. I'm not a computer whiz bang, and I don't think I'll ever
Councilmember McDonald already demoted me at the last meeting, so thank you.
Okay. And does the city attorney's office wish to make any comments or any suggestions or information?
Not at this time.
Okay. Thank you very much. And that will conclude the meeting, and we're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.